completely new story, like new villains.
I mean,
and all
it's
that.
going to be a new story, but yeah, they're going to have. It had Scorpion, Vulture, Rhino, Electro. Is there one more I'm missing? That might be all of them.
Probably.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
But anyway, they like knock him to the ground, and they all just start like kicking him in the head and shit, like they just jumped him on the street. I just thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, like it's going to be a good game, I think. I will say though that again, like you ended with it, I wanted to see something different, some big surprise. But pretty much they're like, Sony had said a week or two ago, they're like, these are the 4 games we're really going to feature, and then they literally only featured those 4 or 5 games.
Well, to be fair, they did show a very brief trailer of a game called Control by Remedy,
right,
and 505 Games.
Which, by the way, they teased that game, just that they were making a game, like I think a year or two ago. So, like I wish they would have shown more.
Yeah, well, it looks really like dreamlike and surreal, and it looks like the person that you're playing as has like different levitation powers and can like make things float and can float themselves and. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, you literally just have to watch it. It looks really cool.
That did look good.
I'm interested to see where that goes.
It's made by the developer of Alan Wake, if you remember those games.
Yeah.
That did look cool, though.
That makes me less excited.
Oh, fuck you. No, but the game itself looked pretty interesting. Like, the gun, like, comes together. It looked really good. Either way, when it comes to Sony's press conference and how they've been treating everybody today on Switch, I'm just going to sit here and say...
And then one last one, Squanch Games and the guys from Rick and Morty are bringing a game called Trover Saves the Universe. It's going to be a PS4 exclusive, supposedly action platforming game, and that was where the bathtub guy came into focus there in the conference. And it looks like a really funny, quirky, unique, weird indie game. So,
and it's by...
I actually am looking forward to more of that.
And it's by, you said, the developers of Rick and Morty? Sorry, not the developers, but like the guys that like made Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Well,
and Squanch Games is the name of the developer.
Okay.
Should
we continue on from PlayStation? I mean, I feel like we kind of just blew off PlayStation, but like, what else is there to talk about? I mean, I feel like they failed as a conference.
They failed. Oh, okay, so yeah, opinions.
Well, I mean, I think we can talk about Square and Devolver real quick.
Sure.
Which is not much to talk about, if you ask me.
All right, so the Square Enix conference.
Do you really want to call it a press conference, or you just want to call it like some shit they just threw together?
Like 10 minutes of them BSing us?
Yeah, exactly. So everyone was pissed about Square Enix, more so than Sony's. And I'm sure we'll get so much hate from people. I say this, like, how many people are actually, giving a shit about us? But I'm sure we'll get some hate from Sony people because of how we just kind of blew past and talked shit about Sony's press conference. But like, if you had a good press conference, I would have told you had a good press conference. I like Sony. I have a PlayStation. You didn't do a good press conference.
Here's the thing. We didn't blow by it. That's all they showed.
I mean, you're right. They showed other games.
So if you thought that was short-winded, then like that's all there was to say.
That's all there, to me, that was all there. I was pissed. I was so pissed while I was watching. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But I was not nearly as pissed as I was watching the Square Enix press conference, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Here's what they introduced.
So hit me up.
Yeah, here's what they introduced. One game I have written down that I actually gave a shit about, because all the other games I already knew about, including Octopath Traveler, which is coming out for Switch next month in July. I believe like July 13th. And that's great. There's a new demo, which I found out today from the Nintendo Direct, not from fucking Square Enix yesterday, is that there's a new demo coming out on Switch tomorrow on the 14th. And it is... You can carry your progress over to the real game if you actually get the real game. So there's that. Octopath Traveler I'm excited about. And then the only other thing I was excited about was a new IP they introduced called The Quiet Man, what's very interesting. I believe you're just a deaf person. You can't hear. And it was interesting. But other than that, I didn't get anything from their press conference because they showed some fucking... They ended their press conference, Fred, with the fucking same trailer to Kingdom Hearts they showed at the day before's Xbox conference.
Right.
Think about that. They showed a trailer that had already premiered the day before to close out their fucking conference.
Right.
I'm done.
Literally... Wait, so was Quiet Man the one game?
That was the one game I actually was like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, because other than that, I mean, I'll run through it real quick. There's a new Nier Automata. Well, it's not even a new Nier Automata. Nier Automata is coming to Xbox.
How is
Captain
that
Spirit,
spelled,
which we saw. Nier.
Okay. I was just curious.
Captain Spirit, which had already been announced. Some kind of Monster Hunter BS. Tomb Raider, which we already knew about. Just Cause 4, which we saw like 8 times. Kingdom Hearts, which we'd already seen. It was the same exact fucking trailer. And no Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, that's the fucking thing that pisses me off.
No Final Fantasy 7.
On PlayStation or Square Enix, which means, like, they announced that game 3 years ago. We haven't really seen anything from it. There's been development complications from what I've seen over the last 6 months. Is that game actually going to come out, Fred?
People are saying this is going to be the new Last Guardian.
Oh, I hope not,
12
because
years.
if it takes that long, because Last Guardian was a horrible game.
No, it wasn't a horrible game. It just wasn't an amazing game.
The controls I saw was shit, but whatever. I'm basing that off a Donkey's fucking review of it, but
yeah. Well, I heard they wanted to release Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and in episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have enough for an episode, just put it out. You'll get more money. You can hire more people.
Just put out.
Everyone will buy it.
Be like a fucking high school teenager. Just put out. Fuck it.
Put out.
Put out.
Put out.
Put your dick in it.
Come on.
Get your dick inside of it. Who gives a fuck?
Literally, that's all. That was Square Enix. What did that take us? A minute and a
Yeah,
half?
because that's how shitty of a fucking conference it was. It was not a conference. It was a waste of my fucking time. Fuck you, Square Enix. You can go fuck yourself from now on.
Now, on to
Devolver Digital, which was only 15 minutes long, but I suggest you go watch last year's and this year's press conference, because it reminds me of like an Adult Swim show. It's like 15 minutes long.
It's really
funny. It's great writing, great acting. It just makes fun of press conferences. They did announce 2 games, one of them being, is it Scum? What the hell is it, Fred?
What?
Scum or something?
Scum. Another zombie bloody thing.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. And then My Friend Pedro also looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, that game I've been following for a while. When I got into game development, trying to learn myself, I found like literally hundreds of other indie developers, and this was one of them. And he's been working on this game for a long time. So it was awesome to see it at E3. And this guy is just so happy. Like I've been following him on Twitter already, and he's
it happy. Looks badass. Like, it actually looks really, really good. Like the gameplay looks cool as shit. It's pretty much like, imagine being Deadpool and just flying around with two Uzis, essentially, 2 SMGs in your hand, and you're just doing these crazy flips and circus theatrics while shooting motherfuckers on a
like slowing down time, roller skates, like skateboards,
and it's
hopping off walls.
It's on a 2D style, like not really platform, but a little bit platformer, just like level design, which is great. Like you have these like corridor rooms on level designs, and it looks fucking just awesome. Look it up. My
You'll,
friend
like, flip
Pedro.
off of a ledge and shoot one guy who's like across the platform and one guy who's like below you, and you'll like land on a skateboard and like hop up and like snap someone's neck and shit.
Literally, we can't describe it, so you really just need to go look at the trailer for My Friend Pedro Bananas trailer. Look that up on YouTube, you'll find it. He literally fucking shoots up a cast iron skillet at one point in the air, shoots the cast iron skillet, and just ricochets the bullets to shoot motherfuckers in the head.
It's really cool.
You got to look this game up. It comes out on Switch and PC in 2019. I'm so happy it's coming to Switch. That's awesome.
Me too. I think that's great. Also, one last game. They ended with this Metal Wolf Chaos, which I guess we're supposed to know what this game is. It's supposed to be something that was out before, but all I got from it was mechs.
Yes. They're doing like a remake of it, and the remake looks all right, but like the graphics are just like, it's fine. Hey, it's Devolver Digital.
There's nothing impressive.
I respect this studio, or sorry, I just fucking said
I do too.
I respect this publisher because they kind of just throw video game development on its head, especially with their press conferences. Like it shows how that publisher thinks as a company. It's like, we are the publisher for games that would not usually be able to be published in the mainstream.
Sure.
And I like that. I respect them. I appreciate it. So at least we'll end our first episode on a high note with that. We went
Agreed.
E3, Xbox, awesome. PlayStation, to some. There were some good things. I'm not going to say Sony did a horrible job, but they didn't do a great job. Square Enix, get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. And then Devolver Digital, yeah, I got some chuckles from you. So,
yeah, totally. So in our next episode, we're going to cover Ubisoft, Bethesda, Nintendo, and PC. We'll probably sprinkle some other stuff in there. We have some opinions from some friends of the show that I would like to share.
Somebody just sent me a dick pic. Why did you do that? Ew. I'm sorry, what were we saying?
Getting training.
Okay, well, to be fair, you have to have a very high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. The humor is extremely subtle, and without a solid grasp of theoretical physics, most of the jokes would just go over the typical viewer's head. And there's also Rick's nihilistic outlook, which is deftly woven into his characterization. His personal philosophy draws heavily on Nadoya Volia literature, for instance. The fans understand this stuff of Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? Like, they have the intellectual capacity to truly appreciate the depths of these jokes, to realize that they're not just funny, they say something deep about life. As a consequence, people who dislike Rick and Morty are truly idiots. I mean, they actually are. And of course, they wouldn't appreciate, for instance, the humor of Rick's existential catchphrase, wubba lubba dub dub, which in and of itself is a cryptic reference to Turgenev's Russian epic, Fathers and Sons. I'm smirking right now just imagining one of these adopted simpletons scratching their heads in confusion as Dan Harmon's genius wit unfolds itself on their television screens. What fools, and I really pity these people. And yes, by the way, I do have a Rick and Morty tattoo, and no, you cannot see it. It's for ladies' eyes only, and even then they have to demonstrate they're within 5 IQ points of my own, preferably lower beforehand. Nothing personal, kid.
Wow, I didn't know you had so much to say about Rick and Morty. I didn't know you were such a fan. I didn't know that you had all that to say just off the top of your head.
I feel like I kind of fucked some of that up, but whatever.
You totally did, but it was funny because I would have rather it sounded like you were reading it than it sounded like you actually meant it.
That's literally what I was doing. I was reading the copy pasta from it.
No, I could tell.
I tried. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.